Okay, so we have Min here from our help desk team here at Tower Systems. I'm Mark. We're going to talk about our AI chatbot and how we're using the AI chatbot in terms of a customer service experience and also answering sales queries. But before we get into that, Min, you're kind of the AI guru in terms of customer service here. And it's kind of like the AI chatbot reports to you. I think that's probably a fair description, actually, because you're the overseer of the responses the chatbot's giving, aren't you?
Yeah, so I'm still working on the help desk as well, but I also oversee how the chatbot is doing and manage it day to day, with any of its chat conversations and any improvements that we need to make to it.
And tell me that kind of human oversight of all of the chats and the responses, how important do you think that is to providing a good customer experience with the chatbot?
I feel like it's important because you need to be able to have the customer trust what the chatbot is providing in its responses, and having human oversight does allow us to continually improve its answers from what we
Yeah.
see.
What we're going to talk about today, of course, is two streams. We're going to talk about the chatbot in terms of answering sales queries and the chatbot in terms of answering POS software help desk queries. Now, um, I know you review the responses, and based on the responses that it's given, you then may modify the knowledge that you're giving the chatbot.
Yes. So all of our knowledge, all of the chatbot's knowledge comes from the knowledge base and our website.
And when you,
Beyond
sorry,
that,
when you talk about the knowledge base, by the way, you're talking about something that's about 700 or 800 articles big.
yes, which can be quite daunting for customers to be able to search for the right KB article.
Hmm. And so with the chatbot, its knowledge is coming only from what you've trained it in.
Yeah, so it will use those two main sources. But from my experience is that Intercom will also give it a bit of secondary knowledge related to the content that we provided. So not something that's just out of left field,
Yep.
but additional context that will help with its answers to the customer.
So when you talk about Intercom, Intercom is the developer of the technology, and Fin is the product that we're using for our chatbot experience.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what we're using. Um, one of the questions that I hear people ask from time to time is, how can I trust the results? And based on what you see and how it's responding, can I trust the results?
Yes, you can trust it. But I always caution that because it's AI, we can't always fully control what it does. We can add guidance, guardrails and all of that, but you know, AI is kind of like a Pandora's box. So
Okay.
it's
So a slightly different question. Have you ever seen it hallucinate to extent and say a customer service query to an extent where it just makes stuff up and heads somebody right off the rails?
no, because it will try to use our knowledge base where it can, and if it can't, it will say that, it doesn't have any sources for what the customer is trying to ask for.
So,
Um,
so hallucinations are quite rare with the way we've got it set up and kind of ring fenced, if you like.
Yeah, and that's kind of the reason why we went with Intercom is because their hallucination rate was like 1% or below
Mm.
1% compared to the other ones that we tested.
Okay. So we're using it for customer service and for sales. And so let's talk about a customer service experience.
Yeah.
Our chatbot's available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for customers. There's no cost associated with it. And they can ask it some pretty complex questions.
Yeah.
And you know from your own help desk experience that one of the most difficult things about a customer service interaction is understanding what the customer's actually asking,
Yeah.
because sometimes they have a question, but they'll start way back here
Mm.
before they get to the question, and you're kind of figuring out where's this going, what information am I going to need to share, and the AI model gets to the crux of the question quite well, I think.
Yeah, and it's more of conversation. And, if the chatbot doesn't fully understand what the customer is asking for, it'll try to ask for clarifying questions.
Okay. Can you show us what it might look like from a customer service point of view?
Sure. Just let me try and share my screen.
Okay,
This one.
cool.
Can you see my screen?
I can see your screen with a blue squirrely thing in the middle.
Yeah, just moves it away. All right. So let's say that, I'm trying to start the retailer software in first thing in the morning.
Yep. And Retailer, of course, while setting that up, Retailer is our point of sale software, which is really what this is all being built for.
Yeah.
Uh,
And we've just run into a snag here where it's giving me an error message.
yep.
It just gives me some basic advice on what I should do, like restarting
Yep.
the computer. In this case, let's say that I decide to try and use Finn or the chatbot to
So,
get some
so just so we're
assistance.
clear, what you've got on the screen now is an error message from the software itself having trouble to start.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And let's say I decide to, go to our website.
Yep.
This is our website. The little chatbot is at the bottom right.
Yep.
So I ask a question. Here it will ask whether it's a sales inquiry or a customer support. So I would select number two if I'm looking for, any technical issues or relates to that.
And it's fair to say we would say to any existing customer, select customer support.
Yes. So should be the main one that you're selecting
Yep.
because it's in case it says here that you need to log a support ticket.
Yep.
So just go min
Yep.
Tower Systems. Let's say.
And it needs this information just so that it's got a record. But what we do say to people is we're not using this information to go and spam them or anything like that.
Yeah. So it's there just for reference.
Yep.
Just a random number.
Yep. Cool.
And in this case, I can ask it the question if I wanted to type out that error message, but being a bit tech savvy, I can just, do a screenshot of the error message and paste it directly into the chatbot.
And so Finn's going to be able to look at that screenshot and figure out what it's about.
Hopefully it can read it and we'll see what it says.
Okay. So those three dots that we can see there show that Finn is going away and working.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah. So it's giving a reply. It's saying, the tower security service didn't start. So a few steps to try and resolve it.
Yep.
I can try to demo this part as well if you wanted me to just go through the troubleshooting steps.
No, that's okay.
Yeah.
And so once I've got that answer, if I'm
Mm.
happy with that, I can now ask it a completely different question.
Yeah.
And I can also ask it in one of what, 30 or 40 different languages?
Yes. So we support a lot of different languages. Not well, I'm not very multilingual myself, so I can't
So
demo that part of it.
so if I was to ask it a question, for example, in German,
Yeah.
it would come back and give me the answer in German.
Yes.
Pretty cool. Which I know is something that a bunch of our customers are pretty happy to see. So I can load an image, I can cut and paste text in there, I can
Yep.
type in my own question in my own English or
Yep.
whatever.
You can also do a voice recording if you wanted to. If
Right.
you were using it on the phone, you
Yep.
can click the little microphone button, and it will ask me in this case if you want to allow permissions to record
Yep.
a question, and then Finn will be able to listen to that and answer based on the recording as well.
Okay. So that's how we use it from a customer service point of view. If you stop sharing your screen,
Yeah.
and I will then share my screen because I want to show it from a sales point of view. So here I am again on the homepage of our website. I go down to this bottom right hand corner. I want to ask a question. It is a sales related question. And so I'm now going to put in my name. Um, I'll say that I'm from any company and um, put in a non-tower email address. And now, so I'm able to now ask it any question.
Yeah.
Um, Okay, so for your garden centre software, what's the price and does it offer garden centre specific facilities? So I'll ask it that question,
Yeah.
see what it comes back with. Um, but you can ask it pretty much any sales question. Does it do this? Does it link to zero? What FPOS platforms are used, et cetera, et cetera. So here it's come back with the pricing, and that pricing is correct and current. Now it's got information here on the garden centre features, and talks about very specific things like quotations and weatherproof labels. Now, so I'm going to say, what if I have a cafe too? Um, I haven't pre-thought these questions. I'm just making them up as I go, um, and see what it comes back with. So specific retailers includes versatile point of sale facilities for cafe gardens. That's given me a sort of a general response.
Mm.
Um, what it would be nice for it to say, talking to you, Min, as kind of the overlord of AI, is for it to say, hey, our software does kitchen docket printing, if that's going to be helpful for the cafe, because the software does do that.
Yeah.
That would be a nice thing for it to say there. Um, but you can pretty much ask it anything, and you'll find the same information on the landing pages on our website too. So if I was to go to the garden centre page, you'll find a lot of the information that it's drawing is pulling from that particular page on the website too,
Yes.
where you've got that information. You've also got a product demo, and you've got product information and details on what it does, buy now, pay later, bundle pricing, all of that. So Finn has got that information from the website. It's also got information that we've provided it through knowledge base articles as well. So from a sales point of view, um, you see the sales questions that Finn's getting,
Yes.
and again, where you see it, like in that example with the cafe, where it didn't give the kitchen docket printing information, you can now go in and give it more guidance on that so that next time it will have that better information ready for you.
Yeah, because it could be that, our knowledge base article on docket printing doesn't specifically say, or one we want to give it more of a stronger connection, so then it knows in the future, if you have a cafe, docket printing is something that's important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you're a help desk professional. This is your career. You've been doing this for quite some time. Um, do you see what we're doing at Finn as replacing roles like yours?
Um, no, I see it as more of an additional tool to help offload a lot of the simple questions and issues that
Hmm.
come into the help desk.
Yep.
That we have a knowledge base article for, but customers might not know exist. So
Okay.
Fins help bridging that gap between customers asking for support and being able to get that assistance from our knowledge base articles with Fin.
And look, it's fair to say from a Tower point of view, since we've been on this AI journey from a help desk point of view now for probably what, over 2 years, two and a
Yeah,
half years,
yeah,
we've not decreased our help desk headcount at all through that time.
no, and we've
Um,
increased our customer account at the same time. So yeah,
we're getting through more with the same resources.
exactly.
But as you say, it does free up people for more complex queries that need genuine human engagement.
Yeah,
Um, I want to talk just briefly about a customer interaction. We don't need to name the customer, but we had one of our customers asked a question, they got an answer, and I think they said something like, good chatbot, or they gave a compliment to the chatbot.
yeah,
And then they asked a completely different question, a general business advice, and they got a response to that, which they were happy with.
yeah.
Then they asked for more general business advice, and they got a response to that. And how did you feel when you saw that interaction go down?
When I saw that, I thought that the customer was really thinking outside of the box
Yeah.
in a simple, support question, support answer. This is them trying to use the software to improve their business and how can they make full use out of the software.
It goes back actually to something you said earlier about it being a conversation.
Hmm.
Um, when humans talk, we are having a conversation on the help desk and things like that because here at Tower our help desk doesn't run by scripts or anything like that. And one of the beauties of Finn and the way you've trained it in our knowledge is that it can have similar conversations with people.
Yeah.
And you start at this point over here and you end up at this point over here. And it's quite fascinating to see how that evolves.
Yeah. And I feel like we want to be able to lean more into that side of the spectrum where we say, hey, we provide more business advice to customers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And part of that's because, in small business retail, all our customers are small business retailers. Um, there is I guess, a commonality of requirements around, managing stock, reducing theft, being more efficient in the way you run the business, and seeing further down the road as to the business, what the business might benefit from.
Mm,
And AI tools are going to be a key part of being able to deliver that.
yeah.
What would you, if anybody's hesitating about its usefulness to them, whether they're a customer or not a customer, what would you say to them?
Um, the thing is that it's free to try, if you're a customer or even if you're just wanting to learn more about our software and you're hesitant about talking to someone, you just want to, dip your toes in the water. Um, Finn can help you just have a conversation about our software. Um, and whether that leads to a conversation with a human, it's your choice.
Mm. I mean, it is 24/7, like
Yep.
you say, and it's there to answer questions about anything. And, we're very clear with sales prospects that if we're not right for you, we're going to say so. And Finn will do the same thing. If you're looking for things that our software doesn't do, Finn's going to tell you that. You're going to see without having to call us whether we do those things or not.
Mm.
And are you excited for kind of what comes next with AI?
Well, at this point, I don't know. People just say that, is it an AI bubble? Is it going to burst, or is this the future? I'm happy with the way that AI is right now, in my job, but hopefully there are things that can help me do my job better and
Mm.
service the customers better.
Mm. And that's what it's all about, really. It's about letting people get answers to their business queries when they need them answered
Mm.
without having to wait for kind of office hours or something like that.
Yeah,
All right. Thanks, Min.
thanks.